everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm super excited because I am testing out some Lorac products, and let me tell you, I have never tested out any Lorac products before on my channel, so I'm super excited to be testing these out. I'm going to be reviewing the new Noir Palette. I also have 3 of their new highlighting little highlighters here, and then I have a new mascara called the Holy Lash Volumizing Mascara. I have not tried anything out yet, so this will be the first impressions video. Also, these products can be found exclusively at Shoppers Drug Mart online, so that's also really exciting. So if you're in Canada, now you can find these products online at Shoppers Drug Mart. Exciting. So without further ado, I'm going to get into the video, and if you would like to see these products in action, please keep watching. So first up, we have the Light Source Vega Beam Highlighters. They're enriched with good for the skin ingredients like vitamin E, cucumber, chamomile, and willow bark, and they're also fragrance-free, paraben-free, and also gluten-free and vegan. So this one right here is called Glow for Gold. Definitely very gold. To me, I would almost use this as a eyeshadow, although I do have this is very similar to the Maybelline, the gold chrome highlight, and I love that one, so it's very similar to the Maybelline for sure. Next one we have is called Celestial, which is kind of also on the gold side. I think they're very similar in my opinion, except this one is definitely lighter. So you have a lighter skin tone, like a very, not like mine. This would be very light for me. But if you have a very light skin tone, this one here would look amazing on you. And then the last one, which is my favorite, it's called Gilded Lily. It has a little bit of a pink reflex in it. And then you can see it right here. It has that pink. So those are all 3 shades. Kind of all along the same spectrum, but again, we have more gold and then we have pink, so really, really, really reflective. For my cheekbones, I'm going to apply this one. This is Gilded Lily, the pink kind of color one. I have a little MAC fan brush here. Okay. It's very highlighty. Has a little bit of a sparkle to it. Very high reflective. It's not just a sheen to the skin, it's more of that highlighter that was popular a couple years ago, but very highlighty. For my body, I'll just give you kind of like an overview. I'll put some of this Glow for Gold on, just on the collarbones. Again, I would probably more use these as a eyeshadow. The pink one as a highlight is okay, but for me, especially these gold ones, definitely would use these as an eyeshadow, just because on my cheekbone, I really don't want, it's a little bit gold for me. And then if I use a little bit of the Celestial, which is the lighter shade, that to me, it looks a little bit more natural than the gold reflex. The Celestial is just more of like, has that little bit of a lighter reflex to it. Looks a little bit more natural is what I'm trying to say than the gold one. If you buff them out so they're not so harsh, it just gives you a little bit of a sheen rather than, something that's super gold there. These are definitely high pigment. Color goes on effortlessly, easy, but again, I would, if you love a nice reflective eyeshadow as well, these would be amazing on the eyes, like absolutely amazing. I was super excited to try out this palette. This is the Noir Palette. It's enriched with vitamin E, cucumber extract, and shea butter. Can be used wet for increased intensity and epic payoff. It's also fragrance free and gluten free. I really like how they include a mirror, which is great. It's a nice size mirror, which I'm going to use, so that's really handy. I like mirrors too. If you're ever traveling, it's just great to have a mirror built into a compact, just because it's just, you don't have to bring a separate mirror when you travel. One call out that I wish they do put the names overlay here, but this will probably eventually disappear. So I kind of do wish they wrote the names under here, just so, if ever I'm using it in a tutorial, I can explain what shade I'm using, because this probably will disappear. So that's like the one call out. This kind of palette is my jam. It's all neutrals. There's some mattes. There's some shimmers. It looks really nice. They also make another one too called the Soleil palette, which I'm really into. I don't have that one, but that one has a lot more of the warmer tones, which is also super nice. But this looks amazing. And again, I've never used a Lorac eyeshadow palette, so I'm excited. So we're going to test them out. Let's look at some of the colors, though. I'll swatch some of them for you. So let's go in with a couple matte shades. So this one here is Calling My Name. Nice light brown transition shade, which looks super pigmented. We have this guy right here, which looks overly pigmented. Yeah, the pigmentation is crazy. Let's look at some of these sparkly shades. They're really sparkly. I think that would be really nice used wet as well. Okay, so for my eyeshadow look, I'm going to go in with the color Ecru, which is just a kind of beige overall setting. So I'm gonna go in, I'm just going to lay that right on my eye. I don't have any eyeshadow primer on actually. I haven't been using eyeshadow primer lately. I don't know, just skipping that step here. So I'm just gonna lightly dust this color on just to give my eye a little bit of a canvas to work with. This color is nice, it's not too light. I don't like a super all over, very light eyeshadow color. So next for the crease, I'm picking up Soft Taupe. This is a light kind of brown matte shade, so we're going to work some of that. One thing I am noticing is that there's a lot of kickback when you dip your brush into the pan. So next I'm picking up Sable. It's a deeper brown matte shade, so we're going to go in with a little bit of that. I'm going to work that right into the crease. On the outer corner of my eye around this area right here, we're going to go in with this shade here. This is a shimmer. It's called Whiskey, but it's not, there's different kind of shimmers in here it looks like. Some are a little bit more high intensity. This one seems like to be the medium intensity shimmer. So we're going to take a little bit of the Whiskey color. Now these ones, when you push into them, you don't get the kickback. The mattes have a lot of kickback to them, but the pressed pigments, they don't, which is nice. There's not fallout happening, which is great. Very nice, easy to use, honestly effortless. It just presses onto the eye. It's not even wet, and it's just like, and there's no fallout. So really nice pressed pigment. Loving this. In the very, I'm trying to test out as many shades, you know, as possible just to get a feel for it. So in the very center of my eye, I'm going to go in with the Rendezvous. This is a very shiny kind of pressed pigment, so we're going to go in with that one. See how this one works. Okay, so these ones, the ones that are look a little bit more chunky, you got to be careful when pressing your brush into them because they will kind of crumble. So I don't know if this is better to actually use your finger or a brush, but these ones do come off. And you know what I'm going to do, just because I'm scared of the fallout, I'm going to spray my brush a bit with a little bit of setting spray. This will kind of help from anything falling on my face. Really reflective, and again, when you set it, there's no fallout. So I do suggest going lightly when pressing into the pan and also using a little bit of setting spray on your brush. And then for the inner corner, I want to do something a little bit lighter than the center of my eye. Okay, so I'm going to wet my brush one more time, and I really like the way this is looking. It looks really nice. We're going to go in with this light champagne shimmer called Whisper, this guy right here. So I'm taking my taper brush again, and I'm going to go in with this darker brown shade called Smoke. And I'm just going to add a little bit of this just right into the crease in the inner corner, just like this. Giving it a little bit more dimension. Okay, so for my eyeliner, we're going to test out this black matte shadow. This is in the shade called Ink, and I'm going to do a little bit of a smoked kind of wing to see how pigmented this black shade is. So let's go ahead and we'll apply that. Well, as you can see, that is a very pigmented black eyeshadow. I'm just going to run some of the Makeup Forever. This is their Aqua Resist pencil in graphite, just right up into the waterline. And then into the waterline down here, I'm going to take some of this pencil. This is the Annabelle Saffron Metal Retractable Pencil. I love this guy for the lower lash line in the waterline here. I love it. So we're going to add that just in here to tie the whole look together. I just changed my lipstick because I wanted to be a little bit more neutral rather than like a pink with this eye. It's a little bit much, so we just switched it up a bit. Alright, last but not least, we're going to test out this mascara. This is the Holy Lash Volumizing Mascara. It has a rigid petal-shaped bristle that lifts and separates, while the curved velvet formula instantly curls and lengthens to create a multi-dimensional panoramic lash without clumping or flaking, which sounds absolutely amazing. It's also infused with shea butter and vitamin E to help nourish, fortify, and soften and condition the lashes. The brush looks a little bit big, so if you do have a smaller kind of eye, might be a bit big for you. It smells nice. It has that mascara smell, but not as chemically. It smells like Play-Doh and mascara all mixed together, kind of. The brush is unique too. It tapers off in the center, it kind of contracts in and it gets fatter on the edges. So this is going to be interesting. I haven't tried a mascara that the wand looks like this, I don't think, before.
You've been on my mind for a minute, but now no more.
Okay, so with one coat, my lashes are super lengthened, really long. Wasn't hard to use either, so let's go in. I didn't even re-dip the wand. I feel like there's really enough product on here to just build. I was worried that the wand would be really messy, but I'm finding it not messy at all. It's giving me really nice volume, length, and separation, which is great.
You've been on my mind for a minute, but now no more. But now no more. Waking up now, wondering where I've been.
We're also going to try some of this on the bottom lash.
By your side. Waking up now, wondering what I wish you.
So overall, I think that these highlighters are like, they're beyond pigmented, beyond. But for my face, I actually don't mind this guy right here, which is called the Gilded Lily. I think it's nice. It gives me a super reflective look without being too over the top. But these two shades here, I find that the Glow for Gold is very gold, and then this guy here is very light, so better for somebody with a lighter skin tone. Maybe to use on your body. On my shoulders, I really like the lighter one. It looks really nice, but I do find the gold is a bit kind of gold, and I would go for these more for as an eyeshadow on the eye, as a really reflective eyeshadow, rather than kind of using it on my cheekbones. But that's just me personally. But they're overly pigmented, crazy. So if you're paying for these, they're worth the money, because you're gonna get your money's worth, because you're not gonna be sorry. It's not like it's chalky. It is very pigmented, very there, if you know what I mean. This eyeshadow palette, I'm obsessed with. I think it's amazing. The pigmentation on this palette is incredible. I do obviously wish they wrote the names here on the palette, which would just be easier for me to kind of tell you the colors. There is kickback with the mattes, but they're very pigmented once you kind of just like tap them off. There's no fallout, very pigmented, easy to blend. The sparkly shades are crazy pigmented. They're even nicer if you use it wet. Not a lot of fallout either. Just make sure when you press into the pan, make sure you're not with the really sparkly ones. Don't press too hard with your brush, because they kind of will start to crumble a bit. Love how they provide a mirror in the pan as well. But again, a very nice neutral palette. I think this would be amazing for like around the holiday season if we get back to going to Christmas parties, because you can create some nice smoky eye looks. Also, I was thinking about this as well. This is great too for an everyday palette. If you stick to the more neutral browns and go with a light kind of shimmer all over the lid. Again, very versatile, could be night or day, and the black was so black that I just could make an easy winged liner without even tracing it with another black liner, and it just looks super pigmented and nice. So again, very pigmented eyeshadows. I think this palette is worth every cent. It's very nice. And then this mascara, pleasantly surprised. I didn't think I would love it as much as I do. I think it's very nice. My lashes don't feel heavy. It dries down instantly as well, so you don't have to worry about any of the transfer. My lashes look long. They do look separated, and they did give it volume and length, so that's why I really like a mascara that gives both volume and length. I'm not really a volumizing person, just volumizing. I want that length too. I want that lift. I really like the way it looked on my bottom lashes as well. It looks very nice, but not like over the top. I don't like my bottom lashes to be too much. The brush is larger, but it wasn't hard to use. It wasn't messy, and there's no flaking. I've been building layers on it, and I'm not getting any sort of flakes at all. I'll check back in too if I notice any sort of flaking or any sort of smudging underneath my lower lash line, but so far so good. I really think that this is a great mascara as well. Okay, so this will be the end of my review. I really hope you did enjoy it. If you did, as always, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel for new videos, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.